Lord Anandapatmanabha, so all of the devotees will be able to go inside this Sannidhi and pray for to Lord Anandapatmanabha. One thing I do want to emphasize is we're a volunteer-based organization. For any Mahotsavam to be successful, it takes a lot of volunteers to be planning all these things. So I do want to thank all of the volunteer base. I won't just say it's religious committee or cultural committee or anything. All of the volunteers, all of the committees for doing a wonderful job. Thank you. While we were planning the Mahotsavam late last year, the chairperson at that time was Murali Lambalan. Murali, can you please come here? When we were planning the Mahotsavam, I've asked him, I said, can you please, because he was going to Kerala, can you go please visit the princess and extend the invitation to her to be part of the Mahotsavam? And I thank Murali and Vinita for doing that. So I believe it'd be very, very appropriate for Murali to invite and welcome the princess.
Thanks, Mahesh, and it's my honor. Hello, madam. It's my privilege. It's our privilege. Like Mahesh said, we had an opportunity to go to Kaudiyar Palace and invite the princess back in February. We decided this Mahotsavam. Every year we do the Mahotsavam for different deities. This year it happened to be Anandapatmanabha. So we planned well last year itself. So, it was one of our major decisions was to bring the princess of Travancore. The princess means she represents, or she is the Yajamana for the original Anandapatmanabha Swami temple in Trivandrum. So the royal family, literally runs that all the activities of the temple. So Thamburati, we call her Thamburati in Malayalam. Thamburati, it's our privilege, or my privilege, to welcome on behalf of the temple also. As an ex-chairperson, I am welcoming you to this temple for this particular event. We already had the official welcome a couple of days ago. And I thank you everybody here for being here at this point. She is the descendant of people like Chitra Tirunal, Swati Tirunal and all. One of the most important aspects, as a Malayali, I knew about the family, royal family, is that they are the embodiment of, they live a very simple life, very humble life. We sometimes even think, where did all this, like especially comparing to the current government affairs in Kerala, we always wonder, we need this royal rule still there. It's that kind of, descent of family they are, Travancore, especially the Travancore family. So, and now we have a program here for next 45 minutes or so. First 20 minutes, probably she'll be talking about the Anandapatmanabha Swami temple, its origin, the daily rituals, and she may talk about Padmanabhapuram Palace, right? And the royal family's connection with them. She may also talk about the connection with Pandalam family, royal family, and also, of course, with the Sabarimala. So, after that, we can, devotees can ask questions, but I would suggest this is a religious organization, we are a temple. You please restrict or limit your questions on that aspect rather than going any political or any other area. So, it's my humble opinion. Thank you.
So before we start, we do have a citation from the Governor of State of Maryland for the princess. So I'll ask MJ Uncle to come up here, please. Okay. And I'll ask Ms. Nalini Iyer, she's the board member. I'll ask her to read the citation.
Namaste everyone, welcome to everyone. The Governor of the State of Maryland, to Her Highness Princess Pooyam Tirunal Gouri Parvathi Bayi, greetings. Be it known that on behalf of the citizens of this state, in recognition of the occasion of her visit to the Sri Shiva Vishnu Temple and for her invaluable contributions to Hindu communities throughout the world, we are pleased to confer upon you this Governor's citation. This is from Governor Besmore. It is our great honor to present this to you.
If I sit, I can't see them.
Then put the chair on the top. You stand for 1 hour?
If necessary. And if my feet hurt, I can sit.
Okay. The chair was on the top earlier, so they put it down.
Yeah, but this is nicer.
More grounded.
My namaskarams to all Bhagwan's devotees, particularly to Mr. Mahesh, Murali, and all the others who have been so kind to me. They have been looking after me. They won't even let me carry a parcel from Reagan National Airport to this minute. I have been pampered, thoroughly spoiled, and now when I go home, it's going to be a big bump coming back to earth. I have been to this temple 3-4 times before. It was Mr. Menon who brought my husband and me to this temple first. And then after that, my son gave a concert here, we were here. And again, I've been here one more time. And once without anybody knowing, with my friends from Annapolis. We used to go and stay with them every year. And we came to the temple just like that and had darshan and went back. It is always a joy to come back to a familiar place, and particularly one which has such good vibrations. I regard it as an honor and a privilege to be invited back here, particularly when you are conducting a Mahotsavam for our Anantapatna Swami. Of course, it's a different system, because I think here it is the Tirupati model, basically, Andhra. But it doesn't matter, because whichever way you celebrate an Utsavam for the Lord, it comes from the heart of all the devotees, and so it really doesn't matter which system you follow. In Trivandrum, if we go back into antiquity, the Padmanabha Swami temple is mentioned in the Mahabharata. It says that Balarama, not wanting to witness a conflict between brother and brother, he left for a pilgrimage from Kurukshetra. And he came all the way down to the south, and it is mentioned that he had a bath in the Padmatirtham, and he offered a cow to the temple with silver bells on its horns. So it goes back that far. But the present day construction of the temple, because there was a big fire, and the present day construction was completed by Maharaja Martandavarma, Anidam Tirunal Martandavarma, who is regarded as the founder of modern Travancore. And it was during his time that the shift of the capital from Patnapuri to Thiruvananthapuram was started, and it was completed during the time of his nephew's reign. we belong to the Chera dynasty, and at that time, it was not Travancore yet, it was Venad. And Venad Swarupam had the capital in Patnapuram. So the Patnapuram palace is where we came from when we migrated to Thiruvananthapuram. But even as far back as 800 years ago, there was an old palace called the Marthandam building. It still exists. That is the oldest in the Fort Palace complex, and we are trying to restore it. You know, to construct something new is much easier than to restore something, and to restore it sensitively without using any modern, like steel and concrete and all that. So it speaks volumes for the quality of the work those days, that after 800 years it is still standing. So that is on the anvil. And even today we have a deep connect with the Patnapuram, because Kambar of the Kambar Ramayanam, Kambar had a Saraswati Vigraha with him. He was in the court of the Chola king. Now he fell in love with the king's daughter. She was called Chola Kulavalli. So the king was not very pleased, and he banished Kambar. Those days you could do that. Today you can't. But anyway, he banished Kambar, and Kambar became a wandering mendicant. He was traveling everywhere. He had no fixed home. And in the morning he would open his, it was a cloth bag, or pokkanam. Pokkanathile irundha ambal. So he would take the ambal out, light a lamp, and he would write the Kambar Ramayana. Now, years later, when he knew, like a realized soul, he knew his time was coming, and he wanted to entrust the ambal to somebody who would take care of her, not as a goddess, but as a mother. So he came to Patnapuram and entrusted the goddess to the Chera king of that time. And he said, you build a temple, but you have the Pratishta as a Chera Pratishta, so that the main idol can be taken out of the temple. So it was a Chera Pratishta, that the temple still exists. And every year he said, you are all kings, so you have to go fight battles, you got to go to various places. So during Navaratri, wherever you are, you take Amma there and you conduct the Navaratri. Now this is, Kambar was 12th century, wasn't he? So after all these years, that contract, let us put it, is still happening. With all the political changes, it is still happening that 3 days before Navaratri, mother sets out on elephant back. She is accompanied by Muruga on a silver horse and by the Kundalini Shakti in a pallaka. They come to Trivandrum in 3 days. The first night is in Kudithara, second night is in Neyatingara, and the third evening, about 6:30, 6:45 in the evening, they arrive in Trivandrum. And I've always wondered that if one moment of time could be frozen forever, it would be that wonderful moment when she enters the gates of the fort. And Padmanabhaswamy temple, the eastern Nada, that is where she comes, and it is a huge festival. People from all over line the procession route. And next day we start the Navaratri. The first day is 3 days. The Sankalpam is that of Saraswati. The next 3 days Lakshmi, and last 3 days Durga. Now the interesting thing about this is we all go to receive her when she comes. When she leaves, which is on the Dwadashi, because Dashami, the Puja Edapur and the Vidyarambham, then one day she has rest Ekadashi, and on the 12th day she leaves to go back, and none of us go. She does not use the main entrance. She goes through a side entrance, because she says, I'm going away very quietly without my children seeing me. Sometimes, you put your children to sleep and you go out through the back door. Like that, she leaves through the side door, because she says, my children will cry and say, you mustn't go, Amma, you mustn't go. So she goes out very, very quietly and very silently. Now this Navaratri festival has been happening for all these years without a break. And when the state reorganization came and Kanyakumari district went to Tamil Nadu, we were worried whether this would happen, because the Tamil Nadu government would say we are not sending her. But it has happened, and it is a wonderful act of faith that is still. The same way the Patnaswamy temple, we have two festivals, the two Ulsavams, and on the Arad day, the procession goes through the international airport. So when my forefathers gave the land for the airport, they said 363 days you can have the airport. But 2 days in the year, this is for Patnaswamy. And there was no written contract or anything. They said yes, so many changes of government, so many things have happened, but it still takes place every year, 2 evenings, between 5 and 9, they block the runway for the procession to go to the beach. And that is without any kind of legal contract. It is just like in the old days you used to say, one handshake, one word, that was enough. So that way it has been going on. Next year we start the Morajabam festival, which takes place once in 6 years, 56 days. So it will start about the 5th, 6th of November and conclude on the Makara Sankranti day with the Lakshadweep. They have the recitation of the Vedas every day, the Sahasranama. All this happens every day, and each Mora, 7 into 8, 56 days. So each Mora has a Shiveli. And it's a wonderful atmosphere, and it's a wonderful celebration. We would be delighted to have all of you plan to make it to Trivandrum it will be 14th or 15th depending on the Sankranti, 2026. The remarkable thing is there's about 40,000 people in the temple that day, and you will not hear a sound. Not one sound. So we have visitors coming from other states and they ask, how do you manage this? How can 38 to 40,000 people sit here in total silence? And it's for about 3 hours, because you can't let everybody in at the same time. They start coming in from about 5:30. The Shiveli procession is at 8:30. So about 3 hours they are sitting there. And they are doing it. We are not doing it. They are doing it. Bhagavan is doing it. They sit there patiently, and it is a wonderful experience. When you walk through the Shiveli Parade to see all the lights, you see the people, and seeing the bhaktas, that is the greatest blessing. One of my ancestors wrote the Mukundamala, Kulishekar Perumal, and in that he has said that we are the Pratyasya Pratya Parijaraka Pratya Pratya. That is the Dasya. Bhagavan has said, I am the Dasa of my devotees. So it is our privilege and joy and infinite blessing that we can be Bhagavan's Dasas. There is no greater honor that we can ever seek, and I hope the coming generations will also be aware of that, aware of what a huge blessing they have received, and continue to keep it up. During the Ulsavam, each day it's a different Vahana. The Vahana is carried by the priest. It starts with the Simhasana on the first day. The Simhasana, the local people, they called it Paranginalkali. Paranginalkali means a 4-legged chair imported by the Portuguese. So That is the first day. Second day is the Ananta Vahana. Third day is the Kamala Vahana. The fourth day is the Pallaka. Then Bhagavan's favorite is the Garuda. Uravathanu Pakshindrasanam Preeti Patram. So that is for 4 days. The Garuda Vahana takes place on the 5th day and then last 3 days. The Pallaka is repeated on the 7th day. On the 6th day is Indra Vahana. And Indra Vahana invariably you will hear a few rumblings in the heavens. That is Devendra showing that he is there. The Palliveta, when the 3 deities are taken out of the temple, the Palliveta, as you know, symbolizes the hunt. Now the hunt is a twofold concept. You keep the wild animals out of the city, you protect your people, but it is also the annihilation of the wild animal within you. That all evil within, negative thoughts within one is destroyed by the Palliveta. So the beautiful thing about it is that the procession comes out of the temple at about 8:30, 8:45 at night in total silence, because you mustn't frighten away the animals. So the drums, the Nagasaram, everything is silent. And the procession comes from the western gate to a particular spot where they have made a little forest in the middle of the road, and a coconut is placed in that forest, representing the wild animal or your negativity. Now in total silence, Bhagavan comes there. They have a Deeparadhana. So Deeparadhana, there is no bells, no conch, nothing. It is all done in silence. And then the Maharaja sends an arrow into this coconut, and all the instruments start, the drums, the Nagasaram, everything starts. And it's a very special procession. Everybody thinks of the Arat. The Arat, next day, many people are familiar with it. The Arat is a celebration, the concluding day of the festival, and the ritual bath in the sea, because you have killed an animal, so you have to have a bath. And even Bhagavan doesn't go inside till the Arat is over. The outside mandapa, he stays. We have 3 Vahanas with Padmanabha Swami in the center and the gold Vahanas, Narasimha Swami and Ambadi Krishna, who's Parthasarathi Rupa there. Actually, the Tirumambadi temple is even older than the Padmanabha Swami temple. It came immediately after the destruction of Dwaraka. People migrated south and they brought with them Krishna Vigrahas, and one of them is in our Tirumambadi. So there, that temple has a separate flag mast. Although the Utsavam takes place at the same time. It is, for us, it is the beginning and end of existence. And I would be happy to share the joy of Ananda Padmanabha Swami's darshan with all of you. If you let me know in advance that you are coming, we can try and arrange a little convenient darshan, and also maybe some of the payasam. The payasam, we have pal payasam, but we also have something called a meni payasam. Now the meni payasam it's called a meni payasam, it's different measurements. In those days nobody had pounds and grams and kilos and all that. So this meni payasam is extremely rich. It is leather to the waistline. It is cooked with not vellam, but with this candy, sugar candy, kalkand, ghee, saffron. It is extremely rich, extremely tasty, and of course it has to be ordered, pre-ordered. So maybe when you come, we can order the meni payasam, and you can all, you come from one Padmanabha Swami to another Padmanabha Swami. So it's all the same really. Because wherever there is a devotee, there is Bhagavan. In the heart of every single devotee, Bhagavan resides. And one of the things I try now, you have been very kind. The governor of Maryland has given me this citation. In December, I got one from the state of New Jersey, the Senate of New Jersey. And what was interesting for all of them was they said, speak about Hindus and non-Hindus, so if you start speaking, you can speak for days. You cannot concise it. So I chose the topic of femininity in divinity. And that was very unusual for them because in all the other religions, God is always referred to as He. For us, we have no such differentiation. For us, it is Mother Earth, Mother Tongue, Motherland, Mata, Pita, Guru, Devam. So always the mother had the primary place because after all, she carried us. It would not have been easy to wander around with a child in your belly, but your heartbeat lulled that child to sleep. Your blood nourished that child. But isn't it a wonderful miracle of nature that there is a child in a womb, in fluid? The moment the child is born, you cannot put it back in fluid. Then it's a totally different person altogether. So we say the mother nourishes, sustains the unborn child. The mother does so many things for which she is not celebrated or she is not praised. She is taken for granted. The Mother Earth. Look at what we are doing to Mother Earth. We are doing terrible things to Mother Earth. That is why you hear of climate change, you hear of floods, drought, so many things. Mother tongue, which many people try very hard to forget. And it always pains me that when children go overseas, they lose their roots, they do not speak the language. So one of our friends, they said, it's very confusing to speak 2 languages. I said, in our schools we all learn 3. And we see no confusion in it. So it is the right of the children to know their roots. They must know where they come from. Whether they want to follow that route or not, that is their choice. But they cannot be denied the right to know where they came from, what their culture is. And you have transplanted our Vedic culture to a country which has welcomed you as its own. The United States has taken you into her embrace. You have been made to feel welcome and part of this culture. And in return, you have brought your culture to share with the people who live here. And they're really interested. Many things. I have Jewish friends in Philadelphia, and we were going through the Jewish customs and the Hindu customs. There are a lot of similarities, starting with the 6-pointed star. So it is a privilege to be back here. Thank you for all the affection and care you have given me. I feel it is true what they once said, that you meet a stranger and they become your friend. So many strangers, I feel you are all my friends, and I am very grateful for the honor you are doing to me by inviting me to be part of your wonderful Ulsavam. Maybe the next one will come only 40 years later, who knows? No, it's once in 17 years, is it? 17 deities, or once in 17 years. I'll be too old by then to come back. Actually, it's interesting that many years ago, I think must be about 40, 45 years ago, somebody from this area came to see my uncle, Maharaja Chitradhanal. They came to see him and they said, we are planning to have an Anantapadma Swami Pradishta in the Shiva Vishnu temple and we want you to come. And then he said, you know, I don't travel well. But my niece, she travels quite a bit, and she'll come. So he committed me to that, and the next trip I came here. And I hope, as long as I have the health to do it. I'm getting rather long in the tooth. I'm 80 plus. But still, if Bhagwan wills it, he will bring me back. Any questions? I will be happy to try and answer them to the best of my ability. I'm very bad with numbers.
If I can have your permission, we have Congressman Glenn Ivy's office, the Chief of Staff here, to give you a citation as well. So,
Oh, well, that's very nice of him.
Hari Om. Glenn Ivy is the congressman for our 4th district, and he and his wife, Jolene Ivy, is the county council chair for Prince George's County. Unfortunately, she was scheduled to come, but she's down with COVID, so she couldn't make it today. And Glenn had other commitments that he could not make it. But we do have his chief of staff, Luis Murillo, from his office, as well as the citation that he had taken to give it to us both for the Maharani who is visiting us, as well as the SSVT volunteers and the organizational whole for this mega celebration. So with your permission, I'm going to read. Just going to read it here. Certificate of Congressional Recognition. Be it known, the Office of Congressman Glenn Ivy recognizes the accomplishments and contribution to the community of Her Highness Princess Puyam Tirunal Gouri Parvathi Bayi on the occasion of your special visit to Sriva Vishnu Temple. Your dedication, service to the community is unmatched. Our district is grateful for your positive impact on our Hindu community. Presented on 10th day of August 2024, Congressman Glenn Ivy, 4th District of Maryland.
Yes, you're in 47 states.
45, okay.
47.
Basically American.
Well, maybe more than what many Americans have been to.
Thank you very, very much.
Right here.
Please thank the Congress.
Good.
I've got one more for SSVT, so with Mahesh's permission, we can get the POT approval from the SSVT. I'm going to read that as well.
Request all the BLT members to come here, please. Thank you.
Certificate of Congressional Recognition. Be it known, the Office of Congressman Glenn Ivy recognizes the accomplishments and contribution to the community of Sri Siva Vishnu Temple. The Sri Siva Vishnu Temple serves as a place of hope, worship, and positivity for our district. It's a great privilege to receive and host princes of the royal family in this great honor and during the celebration. Presented on the 10th day of August 2024, Congressman Glenn Ivy, 4th District of Maryland. You want to say something?
I just want to send greetings from the Congressman. Hi, Wilderness Princess. Thank you for visiting us in our district. Now you got a citation from the governor, a senator in New Jersey, and now officially one from the U.S. House of Representatives. So that says a lot about yourself. And I just want to piggyback with something you said when I came in, which She said, even if your child was born here, don't deny him the right of where he comes from. And I think that's deep because that is America, right? We all come from somewhere, right? And what makes our culture rich is that we integrate it because we don't deny that right for our children to know where they came from. So that was very spot on. And I will say this, your visit is important for Congress, not just because of the diverse part, but this temple right here just not serves its Hindu community. My first interaction with this temple was giving out food, right? When Venkat were here, it was a rainy day, and we served our community, not just the Hindu community, and it was 100 volunteers, and the temple does not have to do that. So I know from us in Congress, we're very proud of this temple, and it's a truly honor that you came here and visited them. So thank you so much again.
Thank you. Okay, let's start with the Q&A. As Gouri said, be respectful. Gouri, you have the mic, right? Thank you.
Swami Sharanam, if you can explain the relationship between the Travancore royal family and the Pandalam royal family, no, that would be happy.
Give me the mic.
The Pandalam royal family is one of the two royal families in Travancore, which was independent in the sense the Punyar family where my father comes from and the Pandalam family, they were known as Rajas. The others were known as Tambirakamara. So we have no direct relation with the Pandalam family other than by marriage. But with the Shabarimala temple, we have a lot of contact. In Shabarimala, even now, on the 41st day of the Mandalam, that is the Mandala Puja, the Lord is adorned with the Anki submitted by our family. And on the Makara Sankranti day, the first Abhishekam, the first ghee Abhishekam to Ayyappa is from the palace. So that way, that connection has always been there. And of course, Travancore Devasam, the temple comes under the purview of the Devasam board. And after the great fire in Shabarimala, the new Vigraha was made by looking at the Tevara Vigraha of my uncle. That was an exact copy of the original Vigraha in miniature. So that was given to the Sthapati who made the new Vigraha.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Great Royal Highness, thank you for coming. It's an opportunity, it's an honor and privilege to have you here. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to ask you a question. My question to you is, what is the connection between Kasargod Ananta Padmanabha Swami Temple and the Padmanabha Temple at Tiruvananthapuram?
There is a beautiful story that Divagara Muni, Vilomangalam, he was a great devotee of Krishna. And when he used to do his puja, a little boy used to come and play. So, little boys, they do naughty things. They pick up the bell, he will ring the bell, he will take something else. So one day, the Swami got annoyed with the child. And with his left hand, he pushed him. So the child said, I told you that you can't smack me. So now I'm going. And suddenly Swami realized that this was Krishna himself. He said, what did I do? Oh, whom did I send away? And here Krishna started running. And Swami started running after him. The only clue he got to the direction was the ankle bells. He could hear the ankle bells. So like that they traveled for many months. And finally, Swamiyar was so exhausted when they came to Trivandrum that he sort of collapsed onto the veranda of a house which belonged to a scheduled caste woman, a Polaya lady. And he heard the Polaya lady scolding her son by saying, if you don't behave, I will throw you in the Anandagada. So Swamiyar asked, where is this Anandagada? She said, oh, just over there. That is the Anandagada. So Viluvangalam went there, and a huge tree crashed down, Ilippu Maram. It crashed down, and there was Patnava's, the Ananda Patnava Swami's Vigraha, but it was so long that the head was in a near, everybody knows Kovalam beach. So near there, the head was there, and the feet went beyond Trivandrum. So it was such a huge Vigraha that Viluvangalam, he stood there and he said, please, what can an ordinary person do to have darshan of you? You are so big. By the time we reach from one end to the other, it would take days. So Bhagavan shrank to the person. That's why you have the three gateways to Thiruvallam, Thiruvananthapuram and Thirupapur. It is symbolic of that. And this voyage started from the Kumbla and the Padmanabhaswamy temple. That is where the little child was smacked by Viluvangalam. So that is the connection. And there also it is called the Ananda Padmanabhaswamy temple. And now you will be happy to know that another crocodile has arrived. Babeya has come back. Sure.
Mr. Sridhar has a question to you. Namradi.
Namaskaram. If one of us wanted to train ourselves as a guide to show people Padmanabhaswamy temple, is there any kind of book or any kind of system where we can follow?
Yes, well, they have got guides there who will tell you, who will teach you. My sister has written a book on the temple. But to read that and learn to guide would be difficult because it's a heavy volume. But there are people there who will be happy to share the history and show you the important things. Definitely. But whether you can be a guide, I do not know. That's up to you.
Is the Padmanabha temple related to the Adikeshava temple, the other deity with the Shalagramas?
Yes, Adikeshava came before Padmanabha. Adikeshava. And if you stand and have darshan, Adikeshava is a little smaller. Padmanabhaswamy has got 12,008 salagramas. 12,008. And both are made with the Kadi Sharkara. Now if you are facing Padmanabhaswamy, his head is to your left and feet to the right. Adikeshava is the other way. Head to the right and feet to the left. They have just finished the renovation in the Adikeshava temple. It took a long time because this Kadi Sharkara it's a very, very laborious process. So many ingredients and so many conditions. So it is not an easy thing, and you keep on applying the paste. You let it dry, then the second, finally the bimba becomes like granite, hard, but you can't do the abhisheka. So for the abhisheka there are separate vigrahas.
There was a ruler who had sung a prayer to Lord Adikeshava when there was an invasion. Bees came out. I read this in a book. That hymn apparently is recited or sung there every day. Is that a Sanskrit work or is that
in the old days everything is, I'm not sure which one you are referring to, but in the old days it is all Sanskrit. Although later on, for instance, during Swati Tirunal's time, he composed the Ulsava Prabandha in Manipravalam. For each day, there is a sloka, then there is a kirtana. It is very beautiful, and the beauty of it is invariably the devotees, the ladies. The ladies have gone to the temple and they see the Lord coming, and they are saying, now, that's so beautiful, so radiant, it must be the Surya. Then another one says, no, this is not Surya, this is Manmatha himself. And then somebody else says, no, it's more beautiful than Manmatha. Sakshal Manmatha. So it can't be. And actually, last week I had the privilege of dancing one of the Ulsava Prabandha Padas on the 4th day in the Pallakal. So in that, the bees are buzzing around, and they think this is a garden. They're seeing all the flowers, they think this is a garden. The ladies are thinking this is Manmatha. Now the evolved souls, the Pandits, they are saying this is Veda Purala. So this is knowledge. So for each person, Bhagavan is a different, it's the same, isn't it? For us also, you see Krishna, he is the darling of humanity, he is the little baby you want to take and put him on your lap. If you see Durga, Ashtaubhujangim Mahishasya Mardinim, so there it is a fierce incarnation. But Padmanabha Swami, to me, he is always Shanta Gambhira. He is always so peaceful, but we have next door. On the other side, we have Ugra Narasimha. And the Ugra Narasimha takes care of intruders and any negativity. It's a very strange thing. It's not your question, but I suddenly remembered that every night before the Arati, and you have the Unjal, the Lord goes to sleep. For Narasimha, they make a special offering with different kinds of lavangas. Panakam is the Nivedyam, but this is different kinds of lavangas. Cinnamon, cloves, all this together, it is placed before him. That is to calm him. To calm him and let him sleep peacefully. Even today, the guards, now we have the local police, nobody will stand there after dark, after the temple is closed. That side, they will not, even the temple guards, they are all far away from that Narasimha Sannidhi.
Namaskaram.
Namaskaram.
Thank you for your visit. It has been a privilege and honor to have you here. And I would like to actually make a request, since you also invited all of us to come, and this is the 40th year, and so the 40th year, in the Sivavati temple, the concept was each deity, in terms of connected to one of the temples back home. And so with Anantapatmanabha Swami, with Tirundapuram, we would like to establish a sister temple concept so that, we can visit each other specifically on a particular time or date or whatever, that we can talk a little bit more later about it. But we would like to make an official request to establish a relationship in the 40th year, starting from now.
Bhagavan is there for all of you. You don't need to establish anything. He is there for all of you all the time. So come whenever you want. But if you let us know, then we can make it a little more convenient for you. And also, if you have any specific questions, there are people there who can answer them. You know what happens now? Everybody who comes, the first question they ask is, "Anda tangam enge?" So the real tangam is inside. So at least wanting to see the Tangam, they come and see the real Tangam, then next time they will come and see Bhagavan first. They will not be concerned about the...
We have a question here.
How long did it take to build the Padmanabha Swami Kshetram?
Oh, it took many years and many elephants, many horses. Actually, I think 30,000 men worked. But the temple in its present form is only about 300 odd years old. Before that, it had a thatched roof, and in the Great Fire, it was destroyed. And the man who built it, the Shilpi, he has made one carving. You know, there are many pillars, and in one carving, he's made a frieze of himself and his family. You can still see it. It's like putting a signature on a portrait. He's put himself there.
Hello, my name is Sajid. Thank you for visiting Washington DC and also for sharing your wisdom and knowledge. I'm from Thrissur, Kerala.
Okay.
Well, I speak English. You were mentioning about a special auspicious event where there is delicious payasam. What is the name and the amount of that event?
No, it is not a special occasion. You can order it anytime, but the measurements have to be right. You have to procure the ingredients. You can order it 24 hours before. If you are coming tomorrow, you can say today and they'll have it ready.
How can we avail your offer of the payasam?
Well, I can't give it to you here. It travels well, but you're not supposed to bring food into the United States. The agriculture department. But if you come and you let me know, I'll guarantee that you will get the many payasam.
Yeah, I have a question. It's something about old times. You know, there was no permission for scheduled castes and tribes to enter the temple, particularly in Kerala and all over India. And it was Chitradina.
Yes.
That is the last Maharaja, you know, before.
My uncle.
Yeah. Her uncle. He is the one who opened for the first time in India a temple for scheduled caste. And she comes from that royal family.
No, for us today it is nothing unusual. But when he gave the temple entry, it was a very revolutionary step, and there were many in the state who opposed it. Then so he asked the Tantris, the Tarnallur Tantris who are Bhagavan's Tantris, he asked them, will you stand with me? Will you continue to do the pujas? They said, yes, we will.
And who was with him at that time? None other than Mahatma Gandhi. And Mahatma Gandhi told him, you did what I could not. That is the culture Travancore royal family has developed as an example to the whole world. And that is where the Hinduism is being spread, the real Hinduism.
They also told the Maharaja, you can open all the other temples in the state, but you keep the Padmanabhaswamy temple private for yourself. And he said, I will open the Padmanabhaswamy temple first and then the other temples, because I want all people to have the joy and solace of the faith that I am getting. So I want to share that with everybody.
Yeah, but were you there?
No.
No.
It was before I was born.
No. But you must have heard so many things happening in those days. Can you tell us something? When Gandhi's visit and all that?
Gandhi's visit also, I was not born. Then my uncle was a small boy, young boy, he was 12 or 13. When Gandhiji asked him, what will you do for these Harijans? And he said, I will open my temple. And he said, are you sure? He said, yes. When I am the Maharaja, I will do it. So, but he did it because he believed in it. It was not a political expediency, but he believed in it. And it was not easy because in some of the temples, the tantri's refused to come. But not one temple was closed because there was no tantri, they got other people. They got replacement tantris, and as recently as about 20 years ago, some of the old tantris, they wanted to come back. Now you couldn't get them back because you already had other people. So 6 months, the tantra was divided, and for instance in Nagarkol.
We'll limit to 2 more questions because Darbar Seva is about to start upstairs. Okay, thank you.
Gopi wants to.
Yeah. So, I have 2 questions. I have 2 questions. One is about Ona Villa, which we have in Patnam campus, so the importance of the Ona Villa. And the first question is related to the importance of Ona Villa. And the second question is, during the Onam, we know that from one day, the people from Adivasis or Mupan will visit the palace during one day during the Onam days, right?
No, they don't. I'll answer the second question first. They don't come during the Onam necessarily. They come usually before with the forest produce for Onam. And that has nothing to do with the temple. But the Ona Villa, a miniature one I brought and gave to Mr. Ramesh yesterday. This is done by a family, a traditional family. And now Swami's birthday is on Tiruvonam. Not that Bhagavan needs a birthday, every day is his birthday. But one specific day is Tiruvonam, Chingamasila Tiruvonam. That is, Chingam is, what do you call it? No, it is August, September. August, September. It is between 16th August and 16th September. So, this time it is in September. So this villa is made to specifications using natural paints. They observe Vratam for 41 days and then they paint it. And the tassels are woven by the inmates of the prison, so that they will also have a hand in the temple. So they do the tassels, and early in the morning these are offered. Originally there were only 3. The Anandashayanam for Patna Swami, Dashavadaram for Narasimha Swami, and Krishna Leela for Ambadi Krishnan. Now they have the Ona Villa for Sri Rama, for Ayyappa. So now it is 6. And we have a Ganapati in the Agrashala. He is supervising the food. Every day there is Annadanam, and the Agrashala Ganapati is the one who supervises the feeding. Oh, incidentally, one more thing I want to tell you is that in honor of the Polaya lady who said she will throw her son into the Anandagada, and she was the one who gave Villumangalam Swami the first Nivedyam. That time, suddenly the Lord is there, what do you offer? So in a coconut shell, he offered pickled mangoes. And in honor of that lady, that family, till recently that family, the members of that family used to come and they would be given dhotis and honors from the temple. Now, we don't know what's happened to the family, but some 2 people representing that family are still honored. That memory is kept alive.
Namaste. This is not about Anant Padmanabha Swami temple, but it is about every temple. So in your discourse, you ask us like we have to see devotee we have to see God in every devotee, right? So being a volunteer, let us say in the upstairs when religious program is going on, and if we are serving as volunteers in the far, which is very far, we cannot see that. So which is the best? Like sitting in front of God and doing puja is great, or doing service to the same devotees, thinking that every devotee is a God and serving them is better.
You can sit in front of Bhagavan while the puja is going on and be thinking of 100 other things. But if you are doing service, Kainkaryam, that is Madhava Seva, Manava Seva. So you are really doing service to Bhagavan. Whatever you are doing, you might be serving food for Annadanam. You might be picking flowers, you might be sweeping. It is all puja to Bhagavan. Everything is a puja.
Absolutely. That's, I think, one of the reasons why I started with thanking all of our volunteers, because they're core of this temple. Thank you. So one last question, if anybody has one, then we have to go to the Darbar Seva.
Thank you. You made a couple of times reference to the Great Fire. Could you expand a little bit more on this Great Fire that happened?
It was before I was born, but there's always oil. Those days there was no electricity, so it was not a short circuit. But the Great Fire was many years ago. That must have come from some oil lamp. It was thatch that was used. So thatch is highly inflammable. And then the temple was reconstructed with stone. But during my uncle's time, he said he remembers there was a fire. And that fire came up to the Dhwajastampam. And there is an Anjaneer there, a very powerful Anjaneer. So the old timers said it will not cross him. Whatever comes, it will not go beyond. And it did not, it stopped there.
But even few comments. Thank you. Thank you for being here and thank you for explaining. What a nice occasion this is for all of devotees here at this facility. I just wanted to make a comment about by this time you figured out what kind of person she is, right? She is a feminist. She is a women activist. You figured out
No,
that, right?
I'm a woman.
And she's saying she dances still, and she's also very fluent in French, and she recently got the highest civilian honor of the French government, Chevalier Award. I forgot to mention that to begin with, but that's a big honor. I think she will be she's awarded, but she'll be presented that award later, right? It's not happened yet. They're trying to get an appropriate time and stage for that. Thank you.
That is my good fortune. Because so many nice people like you, I take your blessings, so all these good things happen.
Thank you very much, Tamrati. Thank you for coming to SSVT. And I know this is not the first time, and we hope to see you many more times. It's
hope
very.
So too.
Thank you. Thank you all for joining this evening to see Tamrati and interact with her and ask questions. Thank you very much.
I don't sing, it is my son who sings. I don't sing at all. I dance, but I can't dance here.
Still on.
And I tell myself,